Welcome back to DeadBall TV, everybody. In today's video, we're going to go over a list of players that I've compiled, some nominees from CONCACAF, of guys who I think are going to have a breakout season. Now, what does breakout season mean? I guess to each his own. For me, I'm kind of looking at a couple things. And number one, you can't be balling out in the Bulgarian 3rd Division and make my list. I'm proud of you. Excellent achievement. I'm sure your parents are happy. But it's not enough to crack Jack's top 10. I don't even know if I have 10 players. I think I got like 9 or something. So as we go through this, you guys got to let me know what do you think of my nominees and drop your number 1 player down below in the comments. You don't have to drop 20 guys like what I got. Just drop number 1 if you had to bet money. If you had $100, which many of you don't. If you had $100 to bet on one CONCACAF player to break out, let me know down below in the comments. And, of course, hit subscribe for CONCACAF content. We do watch-alongs. I'm doing a watch-along later today. I think I got like 6 or 7 CONCACAF watch-alongs this international break. I covered everything at the Gold Cup. We're doing World Cup qualifying. I got power rankings for players, all that stuff. I mean, yeah, just, I don't know, click on my channel and see how many CONCACAF videos there are. There's probably like 400 at this point or something. So that sounds interesting to you. If you want to see somebody who talks about the whole region, like this video is focused on, and not just a U.S. simp channel or Mexican simp channel, or if there are any Panamanian simp channels, I actually might be a Panamanian simp channel, then again, hit subscribe. Anyways, getting back to what the heck is a breakout star. Like I said, you got to be playing somewhere with at least a drop of clout. Number 2, you got to be playing, right? I hate this belief in football that fans have, fans with zero ball knowledge, but still there are fans, who believe that because you play for a certain team or because a certain team bought you, it means you're good. Like, that automatically means you're actually that level. Because for that to be true, then no transfers would ever fail, right? But as we know, they fail all the time, yet people still continuously think that, which absolutely drives me crazy. So really what I'm looking for here are players that are going to increase their international or at least regional reputation. Meaning, let's say, for example, you're a player like Escobar from Guatemala. Guatemalans certainly know who you are. Maybe some U.S. fans know who you are, too, if they pay attention to the youth teams. But I don't think Mexican fans really know who Olger Escobar is. I don't really know if Canadians know who that is. Some will, from Montreal, I hope. But not everybody does. So I think he has an opportunity to go from a country star to a regional star, right? And then another example would be somebody like Olger Escobar, who Panamanians certainly know who he is. Everybody in CONCACAF should know who he is, or that's really embarrassing. But do international footy fans know who he is? Do they know who he is in Spain? Do they know who he is in England? Do they know who he is in France? The answer is no, which it is no. Then Olger Escobar has the opportunity to raise his level. You know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. You'll see more examples of this as I go through these players. And, of course, I want to see, and I'm choosing players based on my prediction that they will have an increase significantly in individual performance. Now, please don't get this confused with team performance. If your team gets worse, but you do better, you could still have a breakout season. The team and individual are different things. So this is an individual list. Here we are. I'm going to get into this. Number 1, my first name. This will pleasantly surprise some of you. Tajon Buchanan. Now, there's a false belief from some Canadians who are subscribed that I hate Tajon Buchanan. I love Tajon Buchanan. I love Tajon Buchanan. I just think when Villarreal paid $9 million for him, it was a lot of money. I still think, despite the transfer fee, clearly, that he's a good player, and I think that he could break out this year. 2 things can be true at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to life, okay? So it was a lot of money, but now that he's here, now that he's at Villarreal, permanently, this is a great opportunity for Tajon Buchanan to have a breakout season. Why? There's a couple reasons. Number 1, last season, Tajon Buchanan was a rotational guy at best. I believe he started maybe 2 games for Villarreal. It wasn't much. He was mainly coming on in the 70th minute and really didn't do that much as a substitute either. And I know some Canadians down below, like, oh, they beat Barca because, stop, Barca already won the league. Nobody cared. Okay, y'all really got to move on from that. He was 2nd or maybe even 3rd on the depth chart. He was signed because Elias Akomach got injured. Now, this season, Villarreal have sold Yeremy Pino, and they sold Alex Baena. And Tajon Buchanan has moved up in the depth chart, both by virtue of those departures and also Akomach just now returning from a torn ACL. So the position is now Tajon Buchanan. He went from maybe 3rd to 1st. So just right there, huge opportunity for breakout season. Number 2, he plays for Villarreal. If you guys don't watch La Liga, you don't know Villarreal, I got a show on the channel called Lengua de la Liga. We talk about Spain all the time. If you want to get educated, if you want to tune into what I find a hilariously informative show. I love recording Lengua de la Liga segments. Make sure you're subscribed. We do talk about Villarreal quite often because they're a really good team. They are the second best offensive team in the league behind Barcelona. They score hella goals. They play super fast paced. Tajon Buchanan is a winger. I can't think of a better situation for him to be in to run up the numbers this year than Villarreal. I actually expect Villarreal to score way more goals than Atleti this season. Number 3, Villarreal are in the Champions League, and I fully expect Tajon Buchanan to at least start 4 of those games, but he's probably going to start all of them in the group phase. And I'm predicting that Villarreal make the knockouts of the competition as well. I don't think they're here for a short time. I think they're going to make probably the round of 16 quarterfinals, I think, is their ceiling. But this is a pretty good squad. So we're talking about a guy who didn't really get any minutes at Inter. I'll talk about that in a second. Was a rotation guy for Villarreal last year, now being a starting right winger in the Champions League. So you're getting the increased, or I'm predicting the increased production in the league, increased visibility internationally. And then from the club level, he's risen in importance drastically. Like, this is going to sound mean, but Tajon Buchanan was an irrelevant player for his team 2 years ago. Last year, I wouldn't really say that he was an important player even. He was just kind of there as a rotation piece. Many of us were shocked when Villarreal decided to purchase him. His last year as like a stud, I would say, was probably 2022-23 season for Brugge. That was probably the last time where he was the man. And then before that, of course, it was the Revolution MLS. But he's kind of been in this transitory phase at the club level, unsure of his future, a lot of uncertainty. I think that ends this year. So I think he's a great nominee for a breakout season, and I think one of the safest bets to have a breakout season. And fun fact, he's 26 years old, so I think he's actually the oldest player on my list, but I don't care. I don't really think age disqualifies you from being a breakout player. Like, could you break out at age 28? Why not? Like, is there some rule online that no one's ever said to me about the age limit to be a breakout? This isn't a Wonder Kids list. This is just players who are going to have a breakout year. So Tajon Buchanan, man, I think deserves it. I'm very excited to see him play. He already scored a hat trick against Girona, the first Canadian to ever do that in La Liga. Tajon Buchanan, man, I think it's going to be a good year for him. Moving on now to the only Mexican player in Europe who made my list, Rodrigo Huescas. Now, as long as he's not driving through a residential neighborhood in Denmark, he's actually had a really good time abroad. This is going to be his second season now. He's an important player for the team. I expect him to have a significant increase in his GA output. I think he's got 2 this season. I think he had 3 all of last year. So the Danish league starts really early, so I think they're already like 12 games in. But I think that's going to be a good opportunity for him. But the main reason here is the Champions League, is the fact that Huescas, who's a saucy flair player, is going to get minimum 8 games for Copenhagen in the Champions League, on Tuesday, Wednesday nights. And that's going to be amazing for his exposure. Now, I think the 2 to 3 year future outlook for Huescas is he will enter the best right back in CONCACAF conversation. Some people think he's the best right back in CONCACAF right now. That is laughable. I'm just going to say that now. That's ridiculous. He is clearly behind Serginho Dest. He's clearly behind Amir Murillo, and he's clearly behind Alistair Johnston. For me, the highest you could put Rodrigo Huescas right now is 4th. That's okay, man. He's 21. Just chill. Everybody else that I just mentioned is what? Between 24 and 27 years old, 28 years old, I think Murillo is. Just relax. Huescas is about to enter the chat if he has a good season this year, which is why I have him as a potential breakout player. And honestly, no other Mexican in Europe, I think, if he gets close. Like, who else am I going to say? Santi Jimenez. Are you kidding me? He already broke out at Feyenoord, and he's kind of in the depths of hell right now with Milan. Chino Huerta, honestly, y'all don't think Chino Huerta is good enough to be a breakout star. I love him. He's a dog. I want him in the Mexican national team. He's not a player with a super high ceiling. He's pretty much close to maxed out already. If he got 8 goals, 3 assists in a season, maybe for him that's a breakout year. But I see that as like a hard cap for Chino. It's still like a rotational guy for Anderlecht. Maybe Raul Jimenez. Some people want to say he's got a breakout season incoming. There are 2 players I want to talk about, of course, Gilberto Mora and Elias Montiel. There's an argument, and you guys let me know down below in the comments. Did they break out already? I think reputationally, inside Mexico, of course they have. I mean, after the Gold Cup, some of y'all were calling Gilberto Mora the Mexican Pedri, which like a chill y'all couldn't see it because it's happening inside my body, but a chill just ran down my entire back. Like, I hear that stuff and I just I lose my appetite. I feel sick to my stomach. People are already on the timeline. Oh, Real Madrid are interested. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? Leave him alone. He's not going to Real Madrid. He should never step foot in Real Madrid. Are you kidding me? Do you want his career to die? Have you seen Endrick? Stop it. Just let him be. Let him mature, for the love of God. Oh my, it's so annoying. But anyways, I think reputationally these guys already broke out. inside Mexico. Have they broken out in CONCACAF? Mora probably has. I don't know if Montiel's broken out in CONCACAF. Maybe if you pay attention to MLS, Liga MX, CONCACAF Championship, Cup, stuff like that, then yes. But I think fans like myself who mainly pay attention to international football, I mean, I know who he is because I'm freaking Mexican and I pay attention to the Mexican national team, but I don't watch a lot of Liga MX. I think people like me who focus more on Gold Cup, Nations League, World Cup qualifiers don't really know him yet. So I think Mora has broken out more than Montiel, but both of them had a little boost. Montiel was more from the Club World Cup and from, playing Real Madrid and whatever the Club World Cup used to be before it rebranded to a much bigger tournament. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think it's called the International Champions Cup now or something. It's ridiculous. Anyways, yeah, I think they already broke out reputationally. Numbers-wise, they could break out this year in Liga MX. They could enter the conversation of the best midfielders or outright best midfielder in Liga MX. I think Marcel Ruiz is clearly, maybe not clearly, let me chill, above both of them. But maybe one of them takes the torch this year, and I think that would be an increase in performance. That would qualify as a breakout season. Both of them, if you look at their stats, have already equaled their GA output in Liga MX from last year, and I think Liga MX is like 8 or 9 games into the season, and they've already equaled their GA. So clearly they're going to be breaking out performance-wise. I'm going to nominate them as potential breakout stars, but like smaller potential increase than Huescas, who is abroad and playing in the Champions League. And some people will say Obed Vargas, but I just don't watch MLS like at all, so I'm not really familiar with the situation. I don't want to talk on that too much. A spicy, very spicy, this is probably a 7 out of 10 spiciness nominee for me here. Kimar Alcocer from Costa Rica in Westerlo. Y'all know I love Alcocer. I think he is the most important attacking player for Costa Rica going forward. Some Costa Ricans will agree with me. Others would be like, you idiot, it's Manfred Ugalde or Alonso Martinez. Good players, really good players, but Alcocer gives them that dynamism out wide, man. He's a scary player, and I think they need that. I love the whole upcoming generation for Los Ticos, but Alcocer's always been the one that I've had my eye on in the attack. I still love Jalen Mitchell, but in the attack, I've been watching Alcocer, and he's finally getting minutes for Westerlo. He's finally getting a real, genuine opportunity, and he's taking it by the scruff of the neck. Now, why was he struggling to get minutes previously? And why is he getting game time all of a sudden? Is the new coach for Westerlo Costa Rican? I wish. No, the real reason is that Syed Manesh, who's an Iranian left winger, I would say one of the stars of Westerlo, actually got injured. And so that's opened the door for Alcocer. And to start the season, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists in 5 games. Now, that doesn't sound incredibly impressive. I mean, 4 GA for a winger in 5 games, pretty damn good. Let's lower our expectations a little bit, bro. Let's be a little fair here. But all of last season, he had 1 goal, 1 assist in 33 games. So he's already doubled his output from last season, and it's September 4th. So maybe he could lose his spot when Syed Manesh comes back, but I feel like he's doing such a good job that maybe the manager's going to try to find a solution where both of them play at the same time. And Alcocer's also coming off a really good Gold Cup for Costa Rica. I feel like Ugalde took a lot of the headlines for his goals, most of them pens. I mean, he did have an assist to Alcocer for the winner against Suriname, and Alcocer's a good player. And Costa Rica really needs some more of their young guys to come good. I was trying to think of another breakout star for Los Ticos, a nominee. I was thinking Sequeira from Casapia, maybe, but I feel like he was already really good last year. Like, how much better is he going to get this year? I don't think he qualifies. Brandon Aguilera in Portugal, I don't think he qualifies unless he finishes with like 12 GA. In Spain for, what are they called? Rio Sur or something? I forgot what his club team is called. Jalen Mitchell's kind of in purgatory as well. Not a really good situation for him at Feyenoord. Madrigal, he's just on like loan after loan. I don't even know where he is at this point in time. So it's kind of scary hours for some of the young Costa Rican guys, but Alcocer really looks like he's putting it together, and I do think he's going to have a breakout season. I really, really hope that the coach keeps the faith in him and keeps playing him. Next up, the haters will say I'm cheating. I do not care. Malik Tillman. I think Malik Tillman is going to have a breakout year. Did he break out last season? Inside of CONCACAF, he certainly broke out. Did he break out in Europe? Maybe. But just hear me out. Maybe he's going to break out again, right? Maybe if you're like, Jack, this is crazy, dude. He's clearly like an international star, which I don't think so. He might be known. He's certainly known inside the Netherlands and probably Germany at this point. But I don't know if he's a European star like that. But I think he can be, and that's why I'm putting him on this list, despite him being great for PSV last year. I think if he goes, let me roll through it like this. Number 1, he's in the Bundesliga now. More clout, automatically. They're back in the Champions League. This time, or I should say he's back in the Champions League, this time with a different team, Bayer Leverkusen. So continue clout there. He's finally playing well for the U.S. men's national team. Extra clout there. Took them to the final. People said he was the best player. It was him or Chris Richards. There's a lot of things that are already increasing his clout this season. Now with Leverkusen, for me, if he can even be 80% of Florian Wirtz, massive W. And he will be a star, and he will not last more than 2 seasons at Leverkusen. If he finishes with 9 goals, 8 assists, and then next season he's got 11 and 7 or something, he will be bought again. I promise you. So I think that it was a very amazing season for Tillman last year, but this is when things could get really, really serious in the Bundesliga. You're not playing for PSV just torching innocent defenses in Eredivisie that are all trash pretty much outside of the top 3. That's not happening anymore. Welcome to Germany. If he can do well for a Leverkusen that got purged so hard, that got ransacked like Genghis Khan came through for the weekend, Malik Tillman's international profile to the moon, baby, just like Dogecoin. Next up, and I'm very comfortable with this one as well, Promise David. It's very simple for me. If Promise David hits 20 goals again, he will be purchased in the summer. I think he's under contract until 2029. He'll be 25 years old next summer. I am expecting a fee between 25 and 30 million, at which point I think Gilwall would accept the money and he would move on. And that would be making 4 consecutive strong seasons of performance for Promise David. And this is a guy who, really rags to riches story. Gilwall bought him for like $600K last year. And I just said I think he's going to go for 30 million next summer. So it's an awesome story. Canadians are super hype about this guy. I'm super hype about this guy. I think he's missing 2 things, and both of them I think are going to be achieved this season. Sure as I 3 things. Number 1, a little more consistency in a league of relevance. If he does it again for Gilwall, check it off. Boom. 30 million. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Number 2, European nights. And guess what, y'all? Gilwall have Champions League football this year. And Promise David, I think, if they got a tough schedule, man, including Atletico Madrid away. If he can get a goal at the Metropolitano, if he can get 3 goals for Gilwall in the UCL, oh, dude, the phone line is going to be blowing up. The football director at Gilwall is going to have to get a 3rd phone because it's just going to be too much. I think it is going to be a breakout season for Promise David as long as he stays healthy. That's the only thing I think holding him back. And the 3rd thing, I almost skipped that, more minutes for Canada. And that's something that I really want to see if he gets during this international window, which I believe he's coming in at about 80% health, like he's a little beat up. So I don't know if he's going to start against Romania and Wales, but I would like to see him get minutes. If he can achieve those 3 objectives, he is gone in the summer for 30 million. I'm telling y'all right now. Now, there were 2 Canadians who I want to nominate, but kind of like push to next year. And y'all hear me out here. Number 1, Nathan Saliba. Nathan Saliba just moved to Anderlecht. I think it's an A+ transfer. I'm going to say it again if you're new to DeadBall TV. Anytime a CONCACAF player joins the Eredivisie or the Jupiler Pro League, it is an A+ move regardless of context. I do not care what position they are. I don't even care their age. I don't care how much the transfer fee was. I don't care if it was a loan. I don't care if there's an obligation to buy. It's an A+ move regardless of context because those are the best developmental leagues for CONCACAF players. It's a great place for our players to go over there, struggle a little bit, but not too much, and increase the fundamentals. Saliba's gone to Anderlecht. The one reason I don't think he's going to break out this year is minutes. He's clearly a rotation guy. He is going to be a substitute player. He's going to get a couple G off the bench this year, but I'm really looking at next season as when Saliba's more in the starting 11, more concrete there, as having a breakout year. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But just, ojo con Saliba. How do you say eyes in French? I don't know. I should ask my dad. Anyways, 21 years old, really, really good environment. It just might be 1 season too soon. And also, Anderlecht lost out on European football. They lost to Ajax Athens. So he took a little bit of a visibility hit there too. The other player who I think next year is going to break out, but not this year, Nico Sigur. He's playing in the Croatian league for, let me get this right, Hajduk Split, crazy name. And they were also bounced from the Conference League during the qualification phase. So a league that already has like negative visibility, he just got even less so by them being knocked out of that competition. For Sigur, I've liked what I've seen a lot from Canada. I think that he might have a breakout season this year just through his performances with the Canadian national team. Like, that might be enough on its own. But I really think it's going to be next year, hopefully, when he gets a transfer. Now, he could finish team of the season. I don't know if he's a right mid, left back, right back, center forward. I don't know. You're not a center forward. That was a joke. But if he's like team of the season Croatia after having a good season last year, yeah, then I think maybe a mini breakout for him. But I'm really looking at 26-27 season as the final product. Next player I'm going to say here, and this one is 10 out of 10 spicy. I already mentioned him earlier in the video. Were you guys paying attention? Olger Escobar from Montreal and Guatemala. This guy is one of the most promising Central American talents. If you paid attention to the Gold Cup, which shame on you if you didn't watch the Gold Cup. How do you like CONCACAF and you didn't like Gold Cup? Like, honestly, I feel like I've become like a far-right CONCACAF defender, man. You got to start watching the Gold Cup, dude. I'm sick of these ignorant-ass tweets I see all the time. Gold Cup's trash. Everybody sucks. Nobody's good. USC team, potch out. What about everybody else, man? What about Guatemala? Did you watch Suriname? Did you watch the Dominican Republic? I mean, Haiti were at least entertaining. It wasn't great, but it was still like an interesting spectacle from time to time. The worst thing about the Gold Cup is the invitees. Saudi Arabia, I never, ever want to see them again. Ever, ever. I don't want to see the Saudi team play ever again. In the World Cup, Asian Cup, anything. Trash, man. I hate watching those guys play. But everything else but the Gold Cup, there's a lot of good stuff here. And it just gets shat on 24/7. And look, I know that I used to do that. Call it Mickey Mouse and stuff. And then I realized, like, you know what? That's not the way, man. I've seen the light. And I'm like, we got to big up this tournament. And I've watched every single Gold Cup game for 2 tournaments in a row. Every single second of every single game. And I've dropped videos about it because it's epic. Anyways, you would know who Olger Escobar was if you watched the Gold Cup because he won the, what do we even call it? Upcoming Player Award, Young Player of the Tournament. CONCACAF Starlet Award. He won the Young Player of the Tournament award for Guatemala. Got 2 goals in the tournament. I think being in Montreal, where he's got 1 goal, 1 assist this season, I think 8 starts. It's a modest return, but he's just been promoted, you could say, from the, what is the second MLS division called? MLS Next Pro, I think is what it's called, where he's with New England. Joined Montreal for like $100. And now he's on a really good team. And why I also love the fact that he's in Montreal is, one, they got some really good pieces around them too. Dante Sealy, another CONCACAF guy who you would know if you watched the Gold Cup, plays for Trinidad. They got some interesting players there. I'm not going to say they're going to win any championships or anything. I don't watch MLS enough to say that, but I do think it's going to be a friendly destination because if he does better, like let's say he ends this season on 7 goals, 4 assists. God, that's a lot. That's a lot. Let me tune that. 5 goals, 5 assists. Is that a breakout season for a 18-year-old in his first MLS year? As an attacking midfielder? Kind of. Y'all see what I'm getting at. It's not like here's Madrid on the phone for 50 mil, but it's like, whoa. I mean, that's a really impressive debut season. So I'm going to keep Escobar on the list, but I also love the fact that Montreal have demonstrated if Escobar reaches 80% of his potential, he's gone to Europe, 100%. I mean, just in the past couple seasons, Saliba to Anderlecht, we were just talking about him. Kone to Watford, Johnston to Celtic, Mihailovic to Alkmaar, Schwanier to Grasshopper. Those are all in the last, 2 years. Like, Montreal are a great selling club. But I think it's a really good situation here for Escobar where he's starting to get more and more minutes. He's starting to get more and more starts. Still a young kid. He's getting the goals every once in a while. He's a great team. I think that it's a very hot prediction, but I think it could be a breakout season for him. And the last one here, and really I'm just going to run through these. Like, this is just a whole bunch of Americans who I think are nominees. And there's one that I feel the most strong about, okay? Number 1, Aiden Morris. I think when he moved to Middlesbrough, I should say before he moved to Middlesbrough, I think all of the U.S. Euro simp fans thought that he was trash and probably thought he had 0 value as a footballer. Now that he's in Middlesbrough and is getting good scores on FotMob, and everybody thinks he's good all of a sudden, which is it's just, again, man, where you play doesn't automatically define how good you are. He was probably just as good when he was in the MLS. Anyways, I digress. He has been cooking for Middlesbrough. He's become one of the most important players in the team. So I think individually, he is on pace already to have a breakout season. He wasn't poor last year. It just wasn't like an earth-shattering performance. Now he seems really comfortable. He's got a full offseason there. People are wanting him back in the U.S. men's national team even. I think he is a soft nominee. Another soft nominee. This is really one I think for next season as well is Damian Downs. I love the move to Southampton, but he is a backup striker. If there's an injury and he gets thrown in the fire, I think he can do it, but it's really barring an injury. That's the only reason that he would qualify this season for me. Another name, John Tolkien. Now, John Tolkien is in the Bundesliga 2 now because Kiel were relegated. How does that affect his potential to have a breakout year? Well, Bundesliga 2 doesn't really have visibility. It's not as bad as Bulgarian 3rd division, but it's still pretty poor. But he has been on fire this season. I think he's got like 4 GA in 4 games in the 2nd division already. He was okay in the Bundesliga last year as well. You know, he got a couple cameos at the Gold Cup. Wasn't anything crazy, but, you know, somewhat involved in the national team as well. Maybe he could be on team of the season pace for Kiel in the Bundesliga 2, and maybe he gets another move, or maybe they just get promoted again. If they get promoted again and he's their best player, how could it not be a breakout season? So that's why I wanted to throw him on here. I'm not going to watch the 2nd Bundesliga, bro. If you think I'm going to watch those games, you're crazy, and you think I do this full time, which I do not. But again, depending on how the team does and how Tolkien does individually, it could be a breakout season. And the last name I want to throw out here, and there's probably some Americans I'm forgetting, so let me know down below. Haji Wright. Haji Wright is kind of like maybe on par with Josh Sargent, where it's like, could he break out? I think he could break out, man. He's been on fire to start the season. He's got 5 goals in the first 4 games for Coventry. I know he's a bit older as well. I think I said that Tajon Buchanan was the oldest player. That's because he's a firm nominee. Haji Wright is like a, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me if you think he's a nominee. I think he's a nominee, but did he break out last season at Coventry already? I mean, he had like 11-7 last year in the championship. That's pretty damn good. For him to break out, he needs what this year? probably 20-7, 21-8. Oh my God, that'd be insane. That's a breakout year, and I think he could do it. I just wonder what happens next. The reason that I like Haji Wright, and at the same time why I don't think that he's maybe a breakout player, is that if you look at him compared to Tajon Buchanan the last 3 years at club level, there's really nothing to look at all. Haji Wright scoring double digits last season for Coventry, scoring double digits in Turkey, probably scored double digits in freaking Sweden or wherever he was before that. Like, he's been balling. He's been cooking. This is not like an out-of-nowhere Promise David story. Well, Promise David's not out of nowhere, but he was, I think, when he, where was he before? God, was he in the Lithuanian league? He was in a funky league. That was a bit out of nowhere. Haji Wright has done it the right way. You know, I sound like, again, a conservative grandfather. You know, he's doing it the right way. He's gone from club to club to club, balled out, and just gone one step up. But he's never gotten that giant hot air balloon that just takes him up like 4 levels. Do we see that this year? I think it's possible. That's why I want to mention his name. If he gets 22 goals, I think Coventry sell him, and I think it's a done deal at that point. So there's probably another American I'm forgetting, but I just wanted to conclude by going over a couple nominations there. This is a very Canadian-heavy list, I would say. What do I have? 2 Canadians and 2 honorable mentions. The future for Canada looks really, really bright, man. Some people will probably want me to say like Jaden Nelson or something, Tani Oluwaseyi. Maybe. I have thoughts on that, but this is already a long enough video. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on that, maybe, I don't know, subscribe to the Patreon. You know what? If you guys join the Patreon and you comment down below and you're like, Jack, I joined the Patreon. I appreciate all your hard work. I would like to hear what you think about Tani Oluwaseyi going to Villarreal for $8 million or whatever it was. I'll make the video, brother. I'll do it for you, but I'll do it on Patreon here. I think it's time to end the video. This has been long enough. Those are my nominees for breakout stars from CONCACAF this year. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. Is there a player I forget? Who's your number 1 choice? If you like videos about CONCACAF, again, hit subscribe. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. If you're listening on streaming platforms, give the podcast a 5-star rating. I appreciate you guys for watching and listening, and I'll see y'all in the next one.